is 9:00 AM. We'll begin this work session, Lake County Board of County Commissioners, department by department budget overviews and discussions.
It is not budget overviews, I apologize. What it is are goal presentations.
Goal presentations. With a little sprinkling of budget conversation.
Sometimes we pop up in here and there.
Sure. Starting with, under administration, we will begin with the Lake County Attorney. Led by County Attorney Matt Hobbs, with some additional input by Special County Attorney Chris Floyd perhaps.
I think it's helpful to have Chris here because she obviously has a heck of a lot more background than I have. So I've definitely had an opportunity to sort of slowly get up to speed. I think there's a lot of work to be done in the short term, just around more structure in the office. I think getting paralegal on staff is gonna be something we need to do probably pretty quickly before Chris leaves, to help with just the sheer volume of CORA requests that come in, because those are on statutory deadlines of, 3 days. They're a pretty quick turnaround. And those, just watching them come in, there's 3 to 6 a week, I would guess, that come. So, and so that, they're all being sort of routed through the county's attorney office to manage those. So I think having a paralegal manage that, and also having paralegal help just with the contract workflow would really take a lot off my plate and help me focus on sort of the larger legal issues that the county has, certainly with my input in there. We've talked with Candace in the short term as well about more organizational structure. I've reached out to Dennis Hunt at CCCI to do some more training for you all. So we've been sort of kicking together an agenda for Dennis, and we'll run that by you if you guys have anything you'd like to see in terms of training. But that's probably, the next couple months, I would guess, so really short term.
Any training we can get with Dennis is good while he's still around.
Yeah, he sounds like he has.
A wealth of
I haven't
knowledge.
done any training with him before, but he does sound like he's been around the block a few times and has sat in Candace's role, which I think would be helpful as well. I think that's the main gist of the short-term goals. I don't know if Chris has anything to add to that, but I feel like, we're heading in the right direction as a county and, certainly our office, and I'm excited to, get through this budget grind where we're all sort of just buried in it right now and be able to start focusing on some of these larger issues that are, I think, going to help the county.
I absolutely agree with Matt in terms of, what the situation is, and think it is essential for him to have support before I leave. Just because, when I first started this position in-house, I thought it was going to be a one-person job, and that first year just about killed me, literally, because of the volume of work. So, for his health and preservation and to ensure that he is set up for success in this role, I think it would be important for him to have at least, some level of legal assistant, paralegal support before I transition out. And the other thing too is these goals and such here for the short term and the long term goals as well are ones that essentially have been worked on since I came on board in January of 2023. And we've made a lot of progress, but as Matt mentions, there's a lot more to be made, and especially it's kind of a living thing, it has to be flexible and be able to morph and change with the needs of the county and its operations and that type of thing. But to have the basic structure there, so it doesn't matter who sits in the county attorney's seat, it kind of is allowed to continue to support the overall operations and the legal interest of the county.
So getting a paralegal, would that actually, there'll be a supplemental request that you're proposing? Or where is the budget now for?
Well, and
Yeah.
here's the thing, is that right now with our budget, in terms of the bottom line, I think we're okay.
Mhm.
Because we have additional resources that were funded for like outside professional services that it doesn't look like we're going to need to use.
Okay.
So that I'm hopeful, in terms of looking at the financial reports and such, I don't know if Matt's had a chance to really dive into that. But the other thing too is as Matt ramps up and comes up to speed and is able to absorb more of the volume of work, then there's the opportunity for me to start transitioning more out, which will also free up more time and money for the paralegal. My concern is, like it was with Matt, I'm just gonna be honest, we got lucky with Matt. Given what Chaffey County went through trying to find their county attorney and such, to find somebody like Matt with the substantive experience he has was a gift for this county. And so my concern is we might not be as lucky with a paralegal. And it's one of those things where, one of my concerns, I told him, if we wait till the first of the year after I'm gone, he's gonna be in a situation to have to do all the work himself, and potentially training someone to take over the work that we need to do. And that's just untenable for one person to handle. So I would love to be able to have the opportunity to go in and recruit for that person, cause it might take us a minute, and we're getting ready, we're halfway through October before you know it, and then we'll be in the holidays, and if we get somebody who's got experience, it very well be that they'll need to give notice where they are, and so we really need to have some sort of opportunity to work together before they leave, and I'd like to be able to help him ramp that person up with the administrative stuff, because that's mostly a lot of what I'm doing right now, so.
Yeah, I think we're okay on the budget as well, when I look at it, and even if we start recruiting now, the reality is we're not gonna be able to bring somebody in to probably late November, December, so if it is a supplementary request, it would be pretty small.
If we don't have that position here, we're gonna end up contracting a lot of that work out anyway, wouldn't we? I mean, if there's only so much you can do, to work
The
with.
challenge with contracting that kind of work is actually, it does take boots on the ground to shepherd a lot of that stuff.
Right.
The core request is, everything comes in electronically, but it isn't necessarily subject to processing electronically. So contracting someone is more than likely gonna be someone out of the county.
Yeah.
And so we would still need someone here to be able to help shepherd some of that stuff and make sure we get everything done.
I know, it's a pretty wide range of things that we get the core requests for, but is it still predominantly, or the majority of it, still like real estate based?
There's a lot of land use, a lot of finance related stuff, a lot of sheriff
A
stuff.
lot of criminal records.
Yeah, criminal record
Oh,
stuff and all like
okay.
that, we get a lot of that too.
Okay.
And so, and they have a different process, so it's not just core, it's the Criminal Justice Records Act, processing too, so. And the challenge with it, because Matt and I talked about the potential to find, there are services that say, we can handle your records requests. Well, that's only if all your records are automated, done in so they can do searches, pull them up, package them and send them out. One of the things those services don't do is they don't have the ability to review the records and make the determination as to whether, number one, they're subject to disclosure or if they're subject to an exception. And especially if you're just grabbing a bunch of emails and such like that in response to a request, it very well could be you end up disclosing client privileged information or other information that isn't subject to disclosure, which could expose the county to civil liability for records that would be disclosed on someone that wasn't subject to disclosure. So it's not something, AI and automation is great in its place, but I don't think in circumstances like this it'll replace a human being.
Not yet.
No.
Not for the foreseeable future.
And especially not to, like, one of the things too is we talk about, records, the records retention policy, which God bless Liz, I'm broken hearted she's leaving, cause she's been working on that for, what, a year or two now? I know, yeah.
Records retention is really interesting, so Esquire Floyd really helped me get started on it. We had John, who was a legal assistant, work on it, and then
Summer law clerk intern who was in law school.
but it's a huge undertaking that involves every single office and every single department. And I would actually like to go a little bit further than just saying, these are the documents we're keeping and for how long, to saying where we're keeping those documents. So we can write all of the words and make all of the plans, but we need engagement from everyone. where are we storing these files, is it physical, is it digital? And so,
And I would say they need to be digital at this
Yes,
point.
at this point,
Physical
yeah.
shouldn't be an option for
No,
we need to have
storage.
a
They
pizza
just are
party.
right now, I think is what
Yeah,
Liz is saying.
Well,
need
I get that, but moving forward.
Yeah.
so some of our records do, according to the state and the archives, we're gonna keep the physical manifestation of it, so it all depends on it, but we wanna know where that is stored. But like, I worked with Assessor Wadsworth, cause I'm like, I don't know what this is, and he's like, oh, well, this is Wonka Wonka Wonka. And so I've been emailing directors and electeds trying to get that buy-in alphabetically, I'm about halfway through. I have Sarah picking up that, but then we need to appoint a records retention manager for the county who is going to be that human. Many other counties appoint their clerks to serve in that role, so it's gonna be something really interesting to think about how we are going to navigate that.
And by statute,
We're
it's the
not-
clerk as well,
It's,
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think
I'm just saying.
that's, we have some
we
unique
could just say all
challenges.
day, I don't know if it's gonna get much traction.
We have some unique challenges in developing our record retention
Yeah,
policy, and so.
there's still that filing cabinet in my office that no one knows all of the wealth of information that's in there, there's probably a bunch of stuff in there that we've been looking for.
Yeah, so,
have fun.
Yeah, well, I started going through it and I was like warned, please don't throw anything away from there, cause we don't know what it is yet.
yeah, I mean, I've worked in a paperless office for probably close to 20 years at this point in our law firm, so it was a little bit of a shock of how things are,
Yeah.
are so much paper.
Well, that's our charm, it's our unique charm, man.
Others.
We have many charms.
Gee,
Yeah, so definitely I think there's the need to continue to invest in human resources for the county attorney's office. For that kind of support and to continue the work that Liz has started, as well as continue to work with the, the county manager and new, deputy county manager and folks to make sure that we continue this progression towards a better structure, overall infrastructure and such for the county's operations.
On the budget front, we're all in the general fund. So we wouldn't be moving monies from fund to fund, so there's no supplemental required as long as there's room still in the general fund, and I have plenty in my budget for them to go ahead and post for
Nice.
that paralegal position. And we know it'll probably take us a while to get filled anyways, and then I did budget for it in his department next year. And also money towards the records retention, storing the papers correctly, et cetera, so that all is in there for next year.
Awesome.
sounds like the right path, going towards like resiliency and consistency instead of where's that stack of papers.
Yeah, and just efficiency as well.
Yeah, like one of those positions that will save us time,
Yeah,
pay for itself, I mean, in a sense, offset a lot of its own costs.
And the more time that you can free up for Matt to do the real legal work and such for y'all, the better. It will pay for itself many times over to have the administrative support to do that. That's something that we've admired in that office since I began, in terms of not being able to find that the time within a reasonable workday to be able to progress more with that, so I appreciate y'all being willing to give him the support he needs.
Yeah,